Join us to navigate your awakening as we share the ancient science of transformation. Practicing this ancient wisdom will help you tune into your power and unlock your greatest potential. If you are ready to embark on your awakening and discover your soul path, then please welcome your host and transformation expert, Trenayce.
Welcome to Navigating the Awakening. I am Trenayce, your host. Thank you for joining me today. I greet you in the love and in the light of the infinite creator. I would like to begin with the internal light meditation so that we can all align our energies with the cosmos, with the universal light of source. If you are driving or listening to this and not able to close your eyes, then please simply open your heart and allow the intention of healing to move through you. Allow each breath to relax you more and more as we go deeper. Let's begin. First breath in. Breathe out. Second breath in. Breathe out. Third breath in. Breathe out. Allow your breaths to align you with your internal rhythms. Let each breath you take in increase the light within you. Let each exhalation release all tension and stress, any mental distractions or images, and allow yourself to be in this moment in meditation. Focus your attention on the center of your chest. See your internal light as it illuminates your heart, as it fills your heart with brilliant, healing white light. Continue to see this light as it grows brighter and brighter from within your heart, removing all heavy, negative, or dark energies, and allowing your heart to be filled with peace, love, joy, and forgiveness. Continue to see this light as it spreads throughout your chest, moving in all directions, moving into your lungs, filling your lungs with healing energies, removing any blockages, allowing each and every red blood cell that travels through the lungs and the heart to be filled with healing light, carrying this energy to every extremity of your body. Continue to see the light as it moves throughout your chest, filling it completely, moving up into your shoulders, down into your arms, your elbows, your forearms, your wrists, moving into your palms and fingertips. Allow the healing energies to move through your palms, radiating out into the world and all around you. Continue to see this light as it moves up through your neck, releasing tension and stress, moving into the cheeks, the ears, the nose, the eyes, the forehead, moving up into your crown, activating the connection with your higher self. Continue to see the light as it moves down into your diaphragm and your stomach, bringing healing to these organs of digestion. Continue to see the light as it moves into the small intestine and the large, bringing healing through your light energies and the nutrients that you take into your body. And now see the light as it moves into your kidneys, your liver, your gallbladder, your spleen, your pancreas, and your bladder. All of your organs, tissues, and cells are now filled with healing light, bringing you into perfect balance, perfect health, aligning you completely with all that is good, all that is desired. And now see the light as it moves into the colon, the uterus, the sex organs, healing these organs of release, bringing you into perfect balance within these organs, allowing for healing, renewal, and restoration. Allow the energy to give you courage, to increase you in wisdom and knowing, so that you are able to release all energies that no longer serve your highest good, physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And now see the light as it moves through your hips, passing through the thighs, the knees, the calves, the ankles, and into the soles of your feet. You are now filled with healing light, bringing you into perfect balance, perfect health, aligning all of the energies that are you and bringing them into harmony with the harmonics, the measure, and the movement of the universe. Continue to see the light as it now flows through the soles of your feet, turning into silver cords that move deep into Mother Earth, anchoring you to Mother Earth, aligning you with the stars, the universal forces of creation. Continue to see this light as it flows through the cords, any excess energy now moving through these silver cords, to move into Mother Earth, to be recycled, to create something beautiful. Continue to see your light as it grows brighter and brighter from within your entire body, now moving out through the pores in your body until you are surrounded in a beautiful healing bubble of white light. Allow this light to be filled with all of the colors of the light spectrum of the rainbow, allowing for healing on every level, physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, aligning you completely with your desires, your dreams, aligning you with perfect health, perfect abundance. Continue to see this light as it fills the room, the space in which you are, bringing healing to all those around you, and now moving out into the environment, moving in every direction. Now see the light as it moves deep into Mother Earth, healing and rebalancing the planet on which we live. Continue to see the light as it moves up through the ceiling of where you are, entering the atmosphere, the air that we breathe, continuing to bring healing to each and every atom of the air that surrounds our planet, balancing, healing, and protecting us. Continue to see the light as it moves through each and every wall in all directions, completely encompassing our earth in beautiful healing light that brings all living essence to a point of oneness, a point of harmony. Allow each and every being that desires this light, allow this light to enter their hearts, their lives, to bring balance and to bring the family of light back together again as one. Continue to see the light as it moves beyond the earth and out into our universe, in every direction to the ends of the multiverse, bringing the entire light family, the universal light family, together as one. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your light with me. Now, our discussion for today will begin with a message from Spirit. And after our break, we will move into Native Earth astrology and discuss the Snow Goose people. Today, Spirit wants us to open with a deeper discussion on energy. Now, we touched on this in our first show, but today we will dive a bit deeper into the different forms of energy and how these forms need to be understood in order to be respected. Everything is energy, and we should all be on the same page with that. But where we may differ is in our beliefs about energy. What do we believe about energy? And where do we get our beliefs? Now, usually we get them through our families, through our religious beliefs. They're generally passed down and taught to us. So if those that have taught us have a limited understanding, then we in turn receive that limited information and begin to believe that that is all there is. We are simply a product of our cultures, our societies, and our environments, and we are indoctrinated into our customs and beliefs. This in turn creates a conditioning of sorts, and our beliefs can be good for us or they can be bad for us. So the same is true for what we know and believe about energy. If you have this discussion with the average person, they will say energy heats my home or fuels my vehicle and so on. But we are going much deeper than this, even though all of that is true. We are going into the very structure of the universe, where energy is everything. Now, I want to discuss the different ways that energy manifests around us. If everything is energy, manifesting in some shape or form, then all energy has consciousness. Everything has a level of consciousness. Now, this is important to understand and understand because this means that when you interact with anything, you are communicating with its very essence, the energy that makes up that thing. And respect is due here. So let me give you an example. Before we eat, we should bless our food. Now, this could be considered a custom or a religious belief or just something you were taught to do. But in truth, it is simply a good idea. This does not have to be done because of your religious beliefs or because you were raised this way. It should be done because you are communicating with the energy that is all around you and the energy that you are about to take into your body. There should be a clear intention of what you want this food or drink to do for you, as well as a sense of gratitude for the energy that is coming into your life. These may be called customs or rituals, but in truth, we have forgotten the deeper reasons and meanings behind what we do and why we do them. We have lost knowledge on many levels, and we have to work to regain that. In the first show, we talked about unconsciousness, and this is an example of doing things unconsciously. People are simply acting without awareness of why we are doing these things. We need to understand and understand ourselves and our reasons for doing things, as well as re-educating ourselves on what energy is. So the first step in regaining consciousness is acquiring knowledge. We need to be open to learning deeper truths so that we can move to higher levels of consciousness. Now, as we discuss these things today and in future shows, I want you to keep in mind everything that we have gone over. It will be a lot of material, so I suggest that you listen to the shows more than once and begin to take notes if you haven't already. It will be important for you to have a deeper understanding and understanding of many of the concepts and ideas that we will go over in this show. So, when we discuss changing or transforming the energy around us, we are going to dive deep into this subject because this is what spiritual alchemy is all about. You are going to learn how to transmute and transform energy so that you can transform your life. And the more you become aware of the energies that are within you and around you, then the more potential power you can gain over your life because life is a co-creation process. We are in a partnership with the universal forces, and this includes all the energies that are around us and within us. We do not act alone, and if we believe that, then we are simply deluding ourselves because we are in a constant partnership with the forces of nature and creation. And this is why we need to learn how to reconnect to the universe. And we do this through our internal light meditation and in other ways, because we need to recreate this harmonic level of connection. And this needs to be done on every level. And this is the way that we balance our energies and begin to manifest harmony in our lives. The real trick is learning how to become more harmonic within yourself. And you will see that the outside world seems to follow suit. Your outer world is simply a reflection of your inner world. Many things will spontaneously change without much effort from you. This is the way it works because life is a projection, and the ancients knew this. So our goal is to find peace within the self and then to allow that peace to permeate our reality. And this is what the ancients were trying to tell us. So we have to ask the question, why do the native and aboriginal people of the world hold many of the same beliefs about the need to stay in balance and in harmony with our environment? And why does this seem to be the only people on the planet that remember this? So when we look back in history, we can see the dominating of people. We can see the wars that took place, the Holocaust of the native people of the earth. And they have been all but wiped out. And in some cases, there are many that have been wiped out. But those that were left behind are giving us a message that is resounding from days of past, of ancient knowings. And some of the cultures that were wiped out left behind stone carvings or ancient scrolls that tell us that they were here. So many of the ancient societies were based on an oral tradition where the information was never written down because they knew that it would be deadly in the wrong hands. So it was never written down. There are many, many tribes and great civilizations that have walked this earth and believed in being in harmony with the universe and in living in peace. But just as there were people who desired to live in peace, there were others that desired to create wars and to dominate people. So when this period of darkness came upon the earth, and it was after the Golden Age, then this wisdom that is connected to the Golden Age had to be buried or removed from the consciousness of the masses of the people of the earth. And it was because we were entering a new classroom. Earth is a classroom, and souls come here to learn many things. So we know about earth cycles, and there are many, many kinds of cycles. And we can see this from the Mayan calendars. They go from the very small hourly cycles to our day cycles, to our weekly, our monthly, and so on, until the great, great cycles that move out thousands and tens of thousands of years. And these are the cycles that we should be conscious of because we are presently within the cycles. We're in some cycle of the earth, and these cycles last many thousands of years. And we have come to the end of a great cycle, and that was a time of great darkness on the earth. We as a race of humanity have been considered by the ancients as going into a deep sleep where we have forgotten all of the ancient wisdom. and where we came from. And there are many sacred tribes and groups of people who are known as the wisdom keepers. And it was their job to keep this knowledge secure and protect it during the times of darkness on our planet. And now is the time of the reawakening, because we have entered a new cycle where we are now moving into a new golden age. And we're coming out of a very, very dark sleep. And some ancients say that in this time, they would consider this more of a lucid dream, where we are at this point. And this is where we are in our awakening level. So the knowledge about energy is just beginning to resurface within the mass consciousness of our planet, because it was one of those great secrets that were being kept until we were ready for the information, because this information is very powerful. And you will see that when we talk about the Snow Goose people, the need for understanding knowledge and respecting it. Because if the knowledge of the energy fell into the wrong hands at the wrong time, it could have destroyed humanity as a whole. So in this time, we are just becoming aware of what is really going on around us. It's just like having a lucid dream where you have more control over your dream. This is the same for the powers that are beginning to move through us once again. They're beginning to awaken us on a very large scale. And as you regain your power and knowledge, then your consciousness begins to expand and quicken. So we are in the awakening time of humanity, and we will be able to manipulate energy once again. But we're just in the beginning stages of this. So the ancient Toltecs were one of the ancient people that held the information of a great power. And it was the mastery of our sleep state, the mastery of the shadow energy that we hold within us. And they gave us information that tells us that we must become very aware of the time that we're living in, because it's a time that we must remove the shadow. We must cleanse the shadow, because we are coming out of this dark sleep. And within the dream state, this shadow energy is very strong for those of us who have been incarnate on the planet during the time of darkness. So we carry this in our genetic coding, and it's a time that we must cleanse the shadow, not only of our own shadow, but of our ancestors. So before you can master your reality, the ancient Toltecs tell us, you must become a master of your dream state. They say that a person who has no power in their dreams, who does not remember them, has no power in their waking state. So we must work hard to regain knowledge that will empower us to become the masters of our reality on every level. And the key is finding harmony with the energies that are within us, so that we can project them outside into the outer world to transform our world. Now, there are 3 truths that you need to comprehend before we go further. One is nothing binds you except your thoughts. The other is nothing limits you except your fears. And the last is nothing controls you except your beliefs. Excuse me. Now, this comes from ancient times as well, but you will find that as we move further, you will see this in your life. We will see it clearly, that which binds you are your inflexible thoughts, and they literally make your body inflexible. their manifestations. And that which limits you by your fears keep you from growing. And the last thing is that which controls you is your beliefs. So the truth is, no matter what you believe, our bodies and our world is formed in each and every moment by our thoughts. And our beliefs simply guide us through the world of physicality. We become great manifestors according to what we believe, or we stay in a state of disempowerment because of our beliefs. Our thoughts are energy, and energy is infinite. So it can manifest in infinite ways. This is why we need to understand and understand energy on a completely different level, because our lack of knowledge is creating many problems and many challenges for us. You are very powerful, and you can create the reality of your dreams. You simply need the information, and then you need to begin to practice the art of transformation. Now, after our station break, we will begin our discussion on the Snow Goose people. This is a fascinating topic, and I'm so excited to be able to share it with you. We'll be back in just a minute.
The cutting edge of conscious radio, Om Times Radio, IOM FM. Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of Om Times Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of Om Times. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Awaken the Healing, Reclaim Your Life is a podcast that will change your life. If you are interested in expanding your consciousness and being self-empowered, then please tune in to our show. You can find us at awakenthehealing.com or on your favorite podcast app or platform. It's time for you to reclaim your life.
Ascending Hearts is no ordinary dating site, but a spiritual dating site with a purpose, to link you with your soulmate. We engineer the serendipity so you can trust that you will attune with someone that has the same matching vibration as you. Ascending Hearts, the conscious dating site for the spiritually aware. Try Ascending Hearts for free, ascendinghearts.com.
More than 24 million Americans have an autoimmune disorder, and that number continues to grow. I'm Sharon Saylor, and I'm one of those 24 million. To put that number in perspective, cancer affects about 9 million and heart disease up to 22 million. That's why I've brought together top experts and those thriving regardless of their diagnosis to bring you the latest, most up-to-date information. Join me, Sharon Saylor, Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, for the Autoimmune Hour on Life Interrupted Radio to find out how to live your life uninterrupted.
If I could be you,
and you could be me for just 1 hour.
If you could find a way
to get inside
each other's mind.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
We've all felt left out. And for some, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Welcome back to Navigating the Awakening. Now, let's begin to look at the people who were born between December 22nd and January 19th. These people belong to the Turtle Clan, and by entering the sacred hoop of life at this time, this initiated them into the earth element, and they are called Snow Goose people. This is native earth astrology. These people were born under what is known as the Earth Renewal Moon. Quartz is their mineral totem, and birch tree is their plant totem, and the snow goose is their animal totem. So now let's begin to look at the Snow Goose people and the powers that they hold within them. We will begin with their mineral totem, quartz. This mineral is one of the most common and widespread elements on the earth. Quartz is composed of silicon dioxide. It can come in almost any color, but white or clear quartz is the most common. And this is the color associated with Snow Goose people. In olden times, people believed that quartz was frozen water or permanent ice, also due to the cool feel that it has. This mineral was also believed to ward off thirst, and even up to recently, Boy Scout manuals told young men to suck on quartz if they were thirsty. Quartz is a powerful stone. It is used in our modern day in all forms of electronics, and some of the most expensive watches use quartz instead of a battery. There are many things that quartz can be used for because it has the ability to hold energy and to recharge itself through frequency. Quartz can be programmed because it holds energy, and this is why you want to clear these stones often if you use them for healing. This mineral can be used to transmit, transform, and transmute energy. The scepters of kings included a quartz crystal, as well as the magic wands of magicians. These crystals can also be used to amplify energy, as well as to access alternate dimensions of space and time. It is said that ancient Atlantis was destroyed due to the misuse of these crystals, and so this gives us an idea of the great power that they hold. As for the Snow Goose people, they hold the medicine of the quartz within them. When these people are in balance, they can be some of the most profound sages or mediums, able to penetrate into alternate dimensions with ease. They are also natural healers when in balance, as they can transmute negative energy and transform energy as well. They have an ability to see things clearly and to allow the universe to flow through them. If Snow Goose people can keep themselves clear and fluid, they can act as receivers and transmitters for the great powers of the universe to flow through. These people have the cool exterior of quartz, seeming to be able to keep their head or coolness in times of conflict. This same coolness can cause them to seem unaffectionate to those that are close to them. Now, if the people around them pour their warmth into them, then these people will warm up. It just takes them a little time, just like the quartz. The power of these people comes from being able to accurately receive and transmit energy. This power can be great, and it carries within it a seed of destruction. And if improperly used, this power can seriously damage Snow Goose people and those people around them. If you are a Snow Goose person, you should study the quartz crystal and learn of its powers in depth, because these same powers are inherent within you. You need to know your powers and the caution that you must use in exercising them. By holding or connecting to quartz crystals, you will find secrets that will come to you in no other way. But you must also be conscious that you are not becoming too hard like your crystal and stuck in your ideas and philosophies, because if so, you can break into irregular pieces and splinter your own personality. Now let's look at your plant totem, the birch tree. This is one of the most ancient and abundant of trees that can be found from the Arctic Circle to Florida and in many other places around the world. This tree is stately and beautiful, with a bark that is white, yellow, brown, or almost black. When young, it holds a smooth bark. And when it ages, then it develops the markings that it is so well known for. The native people in the United States use most parts of this tree. The bark was used for writing, and some of the most important ancient messages were preserved on birch bark scrolls. So the sap of the tree was used to create a beverage and a syrup. The yellow birch sap was combined with sassafras to make a drink that was likened to root beer. The bark and leaves were used to make teas as well, and these assisted people with digestive disorders, as well as kidney and bladder problems. An acid was extracted from the inner bark, and it acted just as our modern day aspirin. So when this bark or tree was used externally, the teas were helpful with skin conditions and with swelling. The leaves of the birch tree were also used in ceremony. They would be placed on hot rocks and dashed with water to purify the body, mind, and spirit. The vapor could cleanse the body of any issues it may have, and it also removed excess static from the body. And this is very interesting to hear that they were quite aware of the static that we carry within our bodies. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So, like the birch, Snow Goose people have a stately air about them. They hold knowledge of ancient wisdom and lost traditions within them. When these people have found balance in their lives, the universe will reveal many secrets to them about lost wisdom and ancient traditions. This makes these people have a great respect for tradition and authority. Now, while they know that changes must come, they feel that they must come in an orderly fashion that shows respect for the ways of older times. Once a tradition has become a part of their lives, whether it is religious or through family ways of doing things, they find that it is very difficult to break away from these traditions. And just like the scrolls of the ancient birch trees, Snow Goose people will often be human instruments to transmit important messages of the wisdoms of the past. Snow Goose people can use the wood of the birch tree to keep themselves free of anything toxic, and so that the energy running through them will remain positive. These people make very good counselors to others, and when they take their own medicine, taking their own advice, they are very wise elders. So now let's take a look at the totem of these people, the snow goose. This is a beautiful white bird, and it has black tips on its wings. These are very gregarious birds, and you will find them by the thousands. It is possible to see 20 or 30,000 of them together when they are migrating. And I had the personal honor of seeing this, and it was amazing. And I will also share that with you in a minute. Now, some species of this goose family travel more than 5,000 miles each year to reach their nesting grounds. So they have lots of energy. The ancient name of this bird was goose from beyond the north wind. And because they did not know where this bird came from or where it went during the time of migration when it flew north, there were great amounts of birds that were seen flying way further north than the people ever traveled at that time. So there was great mystery around them. Even the scientific field did not know where these birds went. So these birds make great parents as well, because they stay with their young, their most intensive periods of growth. The parents will molt their primary feathers, which renders them flightless for the first 3 to 4 weeks of their offspring's life. This is the great sacrifice that these birds make for their young. Now, people of the snow goose have the same tendency. They make great sacrifices for their children. And these people have minds that are able to soar and cover vast distances This is one of the reasons that they have the amount of power that they contain within them, because they have to do great things in their lives. And by being of the turtle clan, they are always grounded in the material world. Their minds are capable of going to great distances beyond the known world, and these people's lives are governed by the snow. And they love the snow. They're not bothered by snow like other people can be. And during the times of the snow, they find this as a time of great renewal. This is their season that they're able to renew themselves, to allow their minds to fly, to go deeply into study and research, while their bodies are able to rest. So, Snow Goose people, you need to be aware that in the season, whether you're in the northern part of the globe or the southern part of the globe, that you're aware of the time of the great snows on the planet, because it is your season to rest. And your body will go into a rest state whether you want it to or not. You'll find yourself at this time needing to renew yourself. And you'll also find that you will have a great desire to study and to research at this time. So you have to honor the energies that are within you. One of the fallbacks on the Snow Goose people is that they must find balance. And you will hear this in every group of people. But with the Snow Goose people, because they retain so much power, they have the power of the quartz crystal within them. And we know that there are great stories around the quartz crystals and the great civilizations that have come and gone, and how the crystal is used to create great forms of power. So you have to remember that this is within you. And if you don't find balance within yourself, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, then you can create great destruction, not only in your own life, but in the lives of others. So balance is very, very, very important for you. And it has to be a balance that keeps you grounded. Because remember, you are a snow goose, but at the same time, you are of the turtle clan. And you have a great earth element about you. So you are one of those dichotomies. You are a person, and that's the beauty of you. Look at the color of the snow goose. It's white and black. And we'll talk about manifestation, because in the traditions of alchemy, you need the colors of black and white together in order to bring about a manifestation. And this is the color of the snow goose. So it tells you there's a lot here. If you really look deeply, there's a lot here. The snow goose is about the power to manifest. Look at quartz crystals. When people are working on manifestation, quartz is definitely one of those minerals that you want to have present, because it is able to hold your intention and send it forth, send it forward. But the thing about quartz is it has a way of storing negative energy. And so that's why it has to be clear, because it absorbs the negative energy. If you wear a quartz crystal around your neck, you must clear that quartz often, because it is coming in between you and the energy that is coming toward you. And so that crystal will literally break in defense of you. So if you're ever wearing a quartz crystal and it just shatters, I've had that literally happen to me, where the quartz just shattered. And that is definitely a sign that it has taken in a lot of negative energy for you, to the point that it sacrificed itself for you. So I just happened to be aware of it, and I knew what was going on around me. And so I was in total gratitude to the quartz for the sacrifice it made for me. But you really, really need to be aware of your power, Snow Goose people, because you are great, powerful people. And again, I'm not just speaking to the people who were born between these times. I'm speaking to everyone because we all have the snow goose within us. And that means we all have these powers to manifest, to create, and the same power that can create something is the same power that can destroy. So you have to be very conscious of the energy that is flowing through you, the energies that you are partaking in, so that you keep them on a very high and elevated level, and that they become transmutations. You're transmuting negative energy. You don't want to absorb other people's energy. So Snow Goose people, you need to be very aware of this. You have the ability to absorb other people's energy, their negative energy, because just by you being present in a room, being in the presence of negativity, negative conversations, or whatever is going on, you have the ability to walk into the room and transmute that energy by your very presence. But you also need to be aware that the very energy that you transmuted, you absorbed. So this is why you must remain grounded. That is why it is so important for you to ground yourself, to clear this energy. And you will notice that we talked about the birch tree and how it removes static from people's field. Now, this is very real, and you will hear very few people talk about the static that is in your energy field and within your body. But for me as a healer, and I do many different forms of energy work. I work with frequencies. I work with the energy of the body, with the chakras, of the meridians, in many different ways. I work with the elements. And so what I have found to be present in people's body is static. And so it was very interesting to me when I found this research about the birch tree helping to remove static, because it's very real. And if you ever begin to use frequency medicine, any types of tools that use photonic wands, anything of that nature, you would be able to go over your body and you would hear the static within your body. And in those areas where the static is built up is the areas you need to work to remove it. And so you need tools to help remove the static. And so knowing that the birch tree is a tool for you that can help you remove static from the body, from the inside and the outside, from within the body and within the auric field, then this is something we can all use. So I suggest doing more research on this so that you are equipped with the information before moving forward. But Snow Goose people, this is you. This is what you do. And just think about it, static. You can walk into a room where there's an argument going on, and you walking in the room, boom, it stops. Everybody looks at you. You literally can remove static. Just as the way that you remove conflict, you have a very powerful energy about you that can be used in either way. So when we flip this, when Snow Goose people are not in their balanced state and they haven't done their inner work, then they can be the problem. They can be the one that is bringing in the negative energy. Because remember, you store this within you if you don't ground it and remove it from you. You can be the one creating the static. Because if you can remove static, you also can bring static. So this is why Snow Goose people have to be very mindful of their own energies. And it's very important for them to retreat to places that are uninhabited. And this is what your totem does. This is what the snow geese do. They travel to the furthest reaches of the northern hemisphere where there are no people. There are no known people to be there. And they renew themselves. So this is a message to you that you need that time, whether it be once a year or whenever you feel it within yourself, you need to retreat to where there are no people. And you just go back into nature and you find yourself being able to restore yourself that way. Now, because Snow Goose has this nature about them, the Snow Goose people have this nature where they need to get away and they need to be alone in order to recharge themselves. To the people around you, they can feel slighted by this. They can feel that unaffectionate energy, that same energy that your quartz gives you, that coolness that you can hold. So you need to be mindful of that. So just as you need to do the restoration for yourself, the renewal for yourself, you also need to be conscious that the people around you also love you to be around them, because the snow goose is also very gregarious. It loves to be in large groups of people. It loves to be there just sharing its information along with the tribe. So you love powwows. You love that. You love to be in the groups. And you love to be around the people. And when you do get in groups of people, you bring great wisdom to the circle. This is your job. This is what you do. You help balance and bring traditions of old, lost knowledge, great wisdom into the circles of now. And so you can't do that if you haven't taken time to study. So this is also a message to you, Snow Geese people, that you need to take time to study. You need to take time to move away from the crowds and the gregariousness that's going on around you. And you need to take that time to move into solace so that you can really begin to study and grow. It is very important for you to learn how to harness your inner powers, your inner knowing. And moving away from people is absolutely necessary, because you tend to, when there's others around, want to be right in the middle of it. So this is why you have to remove yourself from people. Otherwise, you'll find yourself spending many hours talking and you've lost a lot of time. So just be conscious of the things that we are sharing with you about parts of yourself that you may not be aware of. And some of this may resonate with you completely, and you really, really see yourself within this. But if there are parts that you don't see within yourself, then you still have not really connected with the self yet, because this is definitely an aspect of you. And as I said before, it's not just for Snow Goose people. It is for all of us. So within all of us, we have the power of the quartz crystal. We have the power to store, to amplify, to transmute, and transmit energy. That is a part of all of us. But certain people, because of the time that they come into the sacred hoop of life, then they come in with more of that energy. And I also want you to be very aware of the fact that this resonates with Capricorn energy. So when we think about Western astrology and Capricorn energy, then we think about the leaders of the pack. Snow Goose people, just think about that. The geese fly in that V form in the sky, and the snow geese, they always have a female leading them. There's always an elder female that is leading the pack as they fly through the air. And it is very beautiful to know that they honor tradition. They honor the wisdom of the elders. And so you will see that among the snow geese. They are likened to the raven that love to be in groups and having powwows and taking counsel with one another. You are an amazing group of people. You need to know your power. This is so important for everyone to be aware of. And so it gives me great honor to share these things with you. Now, Snow Geese, there's one more thing I want to share with you before I go, because I want to heed this. I want you to heed this message. of the ancients. You have a tendency when you are out of balance to become nitpicking. Now, when I say that, that is literal and figurative, because the geese love to get up on each other. They like to be right on top of each other. And then they start to pick the lice and they pick all the little things out of the feathers. And this is also a trait. Now, this could be good when you're talking about your children because you're very good parents. But when you are around groups of people, you need to be conscious and aware that you don't start finding fault with them, because this is also a tendency of the Snow Goose people to find fault with others. Remember to uplift one another. This is resembled by your wings. You can fly above the ground. You are an earth element, but you also fly. So remember that about you. You can fly above the small things. Don't let that get you down. Remember who you are. Remember where you came from. You are an amazing group of people. You are greatly needed at this time. I want to thank you for joining me for another incredible show. Tune in next week to find out about the otter people born between January 20th and February 18th. They belong to the butterfly clan. I leave you in the love and in the light of the infinite creator. Have a beautiful week.